Access Sportsnet Lakers brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. I'm Allie Clifton alongside James Worthy, Derek Fisher. Got Mike Trudell handling the post-game responsibilities downtown. Lakers end their three-game losing streak, beat the Kings 125-101, and coming off what we talked about in the pregame, a spirited practice yesterday, focused on that recalibration and reconnection. This is kind of the intensity and effort you'd hope to see. I think we start defensively with the fact, Billy Mack said it on the broadcast, in 9 of their last 12 games, the Lakers were giving up at least 119. Tonight, you turn that around. You give just 101. Offensively, you got 6 guys in double figures, led by Luka's 34, 7, and 5. And then what a spark by Nick Smith Jr., big game off the bench with the 21.
Yeah, it's amazing what the meeting of the minds will do, a collective effort, collective mindset to kind of get back on track against a team that was without a few players, and quite honestly, their offensive efficiency has gone down. But nevertheless, the Lakers came in and did a good job from the start, getting players involved. I thought LeBron James' shooting percentage was amazing. The bench for the Lakers did what they're supposed to do, and then all that data that Fisher gave us about Smith coming in early in the game, creative. He's a little mini microwave when he comes in the game, put up some numbers, and collectively they did what they're supposed to do at home.
I think tonight's performance, we would have seen a better performance tonight regardless of opponent. You know, the opponent, second night of a back-to-back in Sacramento, it was supposed to be an easy win due to who they played, but I believe the Lakers benefited from what they learned about themselves from the recent adversity. And so they were able to kind of take a step back, reconnect as a group, have some real grown man conversation, and then come out and just work at getting back to process again. You heard JJ's comments, Luka's comments, not too many extra things other than just doing what we practice, doing what we work on, sticking to our principles, sticking to the fundamentals, and then we worry about the rest later. That's how you win games, to be honest. And so it's good that the Lakers were able to do that tonight. And then now you run up against a tougher opponent on Tuesday night, but you still stick to those same principles, and it'll always give you a chance to win.
I think there are different things that factor into signs of a great team, and one of them certainly being, as you mentioned, you're supposed to beat the Sacramento Kings. They come in 8-23. You're now 13-3 versus teams below 500, beating those teams in front of you. But to your point, I think what Luka just told Mike Trudell, we played for each other. There's a large responsibility on LeBron James and Luka right now, especially without Austin Reeves. And through their play, through their leadership, big game, I think they took that step forward that they needed to at this time right now. And you speak of LeBron, 11 of 13. You mentioned the dunk, just the energy, the spirit about him and what you're supposed to bring to the floor. He and Luka combined for 54 tonight.
Yeah, I still don't know how he does that reverse dunk at that age. It just hurts my knees to watch it. But, yeah, I mean, look, players will follow good leadership. You know, if your leaders are demonstrating what needs to be done, most of the time the rest of the team will follow that energy. And I think that happened tonight, particularly with LeBron, Luka as well. Getting the team started with a good aggressive play, nice passes, and good effort. The energy was there, and I think it was just contagious throughout the team.
And oftentimes what happens, too, is, as you know, Big Game, when you have a meeting of the minds and there is some transparency and honesty in those discussions, and you have to step up as a leader and not acknowledge, yeah, I made some mistakes. Some of these clips involve me, too. I have to be better. I need to be better. The next time you go out on the court, you owe that to your brothers and your teammates to be better. And so not just in LeBron's performance to start this game, but in general, I think they all felt a higher sense of responsibility on how to come out and play tonight. Regardless of whether you were scoring, you just owe it to the team to play with the right spirit for one another. That normally leads to good things. Again, a little easier tonight. It'll be harder Tuesday, but doing it from that spirit and for one another still gives you the best chance even against good teams.
You guys know this as well, absorbing and embracing the conversation as grown men, especially as your stars. When your stars accept it, you then can look at your 15th man down the roster and hold them just as accountable and want them to follow your lead. And I transition now to a guy like Nick Smith Jr. from the simple fact of, JJ said in the pregame, if someone's going to get some minutes with Austin Reeves out, it is a guy like Nick Smith Jr. He's proven he's capable, but tonight to come out, what did he show you, Big Game?
But he's ready. and that he's working on his game regardless of how many minutes he's been getting. He's ready. He's probably a really good practice player. He's at this point of his career where he's got to land a job, and that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get a job, so he's ready. He's very talented. He's a mini microwave when he comes off the bench. Very, agile, got quick moves, hard to stay in front of. And I think this kid is, if he does well on both ends of the court, which I think he does, put in the effort. I think he's got a bright future because he can put up numbers. He's quick and he's hard to handle when he got the ball in his hands.
Yeah, and his defensive activity looked good tonight. He's rangy, he's long arms, good wingspan. I think looking at the numbers, can Nick Smith impact winning when he doesn't make shots the way he did tonight? Right? Like, to me, that's what it'll come down to. He's going to benefit playing next to Luka and LeBron more minutes with Austin out. He will be able to get some things going offensively. But some of the decision-making, understanding of basketball situations, time and score, defending, good perimeter players, and then if his shot isn't going, what else are you doing to impact winning? And if he can step into that as a player, that gives him a really good chance to land that job and be a consistent player, hopefully for the Lakers, of course, but even just as an NBA player, it just gives you more chance to help more teams.
That's the key. You can do it here and there, but now when they're counting on you to possibly do it more consistently, will he step up to the plate? We head back downtown of what JJ mentioned after the game the other night, but he addressed it after practice, a practice that was about recalibration and reconnection. And look, they are in the midst of a 3-game losing streak, the first one this season, but on the other side of this big game, when you look at, adversity is going to hit at some point throughout the course of an 82-game regular season. You've had winning streaks, you're 19-10, you've had game winners. Can you lean on those moments to kind of get you through? At least you hope you can.
This early in the season, you have to lean on the positives, but you do have to magnify, the negatives too. And right now the negative is defense, which you really need to build your whole team around. But it was fortunate that they won the games early in the season that they were supposed to against, not really the top teams in the league, but they did win those games. But, I think we talked about it once on this telecast that when they start running into, the upper echelon teams, that their defense was going to have to get better. They were winning with, mega offense. Reeves, Luka, a collective effort. And they were playing some decent defense in quarters, but this stretch of competing, non-effort, and you're going to get tougher teams, is something that, you need to stress and get back together. It's not really a panic time, but, this is a team you want to build on defense. And right now they're one of the worst defensive teams in the league, which is a surprise to me. But it's something that they can correct if they commit to it.
That's good perspective, because I feel like the outside world of Laker Nation is panicking in panic mode.
Yeah, no, it's a long season. There's, two parts to it. From a basketball perspective, I think with LeBron's return also has come some bumps and bruises for Luka and Austin. And Austin in particular missed some time, came back, now out again. When the Lakers were playing better defense, yes, some of it was opponents, but a tremendous amount of it also was the amount of pressure that Austin and Luka combined put on teams in terms of rim pressure, 2 feet in the paint, and getting to the free throw line. And when your team can get to the free throw line consistently, your defense can be more of a set half-court defense as opposed to constantly having to play defense in transition. So that's one part of it. The second part of it, I think for a veteran team, I always felt this around Christmas, the excitement and the newness of like the beginning of the season, your 8th year, 10th year, 12th year, you're blessed, you're fortunate. By the time you get to Christmas, you're tired, man. Like, you're just tired. Real talk. And the week before Christmas, most of the time the Lakers, big market teams are out on the road because they sell holiday season ticket packages based around those teams. So by the time you get back to LA for Christmas, I looked this up. We lost some Christmas Day games as well, more than twice, because on Christmas Day, you've been on the road, now you're back, family's in town, your kids, your family, your spouse, everybody wants your attention. You can't give it because you have to go play this game today. It is just not a good combination. So you also have that for a veteran team. These guys have seen everything. There's nothing exciting about this time of year for them.
You know what else they know?
What else?
That January is 31 days long. That's why they call it the dog days, because that's on the other side of this.
It's a rough time of year. So they have to, early in the year it was all about process for this group. And so they can't get lost now in the results not being what they like and get disconnected from process. The process of just being a great defensive team starts with communication, closeout, stance, readiness, boxing out. Get back to mastering those things, and then the results will kind of start to take care of themselves.
Which is exactly what J.J. Redick said yesterday, and you bring up a great point as I bring it to you, Big Game, because now you're going to have to lean on your two stars even more so without Austin Reeves for an extended period of time. And I say that from the standpoint of J.J. mentioned the defensive clarity, the role clarity, and the offensive organization since LeBron has returned has not been where it needs to be. How do you balance leaning on them for what you need from them, but also kind of bringing this thing together right now?
Yeah, I think they were 11-5 without LeBron, and they were like 8-5 with LeBron. So, you know, you have to really continue to stress, you know, a collective effort, ball movement, you know, and for me, you know, when I see Rui the other night, again, he didn't get a shot until like the second or third quarter. To me, it's just like the ball needs to move a little quicker in the offense earlier. So for LeBron, I think he, you know, when he first came back, he was playing off the ball, playing baseline. I think more of that. But without Austin, he's going to have to maybe handle the ball a little bit more. Or Smith could come in, and you know, guys like that. I know Gabe is out, but other guys can handle the ball and let LeBron continue to play that role. I just think, you know.